Join DemButlers today as we actually do a walking tour of Pacifica Salud Hospital with Mike Kelly of Expat Health. So this one would be a little bit different. We're doing a walkthrough of the hospital, and to respect privacy, we did not do a lot of recording in the hallways. We do have some, and yes, will be sitting down with Mike Kelly to do a proper interview at a later date, but this is a walking tour of the hospital. At this point, he is showing us the main lobby entrance. When you enter Pacifica Salud at the main hospital location of Punta Pacifica, which is located in the heart of the city, you can enter two different sides, but they both bring you to the main lobby. So we're discussing that and looking at the layout of the hospital, getting acquainted. Very clean, very friendly, a lot of digital equipment, self-playing piano there that has great lobby music playing. Mike also informed us that sometimes there's an actual pianist that will play there, but it is in the background with some soft music. There's a coffee bar that is located behind him that you can go get some food. And then there's also a pharmacy located in the main lobby. Whether you're there at the hospital or not, there's a pharmacy. He did mention that sometimes if you're having hard to find medicine, to come to the hospital pharmacy, you might be able to locate it better. There is a kiosk for those that happen to have or would like to have Blue Cross Blue Shield of Panama. If you would like to have a private healthcare policy, but in Panama, there is a contact person and a kiosk that is manned with a English speaking contact, and you can go in there and learn more about it. Mike Kelly, for those of you that don't know, has a business called Expat Health, where he assists expats in all their major coverage area, whether that is veterans benefits or private insurance or Medicare. At this time, we are walking into the main entry area where you can get your paperwork, your admissions. So that's where we're at. We're in admissions. You can also do your cash out. They offer, oh my gosh, full body scans. For those of you that are not familiar with this, a full body scan will basically scan your body, and it's a preliminary aspect that will basically tell you every single thing in an early treatment phase of what could be possibly wrong with your body. In the United States, those cost upwards of $15,000. $1,500 here in Panama City for a full body scan. Yes, $1,500. We are now at the cashier admissions area as well. They do have a blood bank room. There's a lot of people, I know veterans like to personally still give blood and donate. You have a private room there. The emergency room admissions, yes, we all hope we never have to see emergency, but just in case you do, this is where you would enter for the emergency, or where the ambulance will bring you into the hospital at. Again, everything was very technology regimented. We're only able to go through these different rooms because we're with Mike Kelly. That is all. One thing that I did notice, and I actually mentioned it in this video and talking to him, there aren't any of those loud announcements. He did mention if someone is unfortunately having a cold, you will hear it, but there's none of that paging Dr. So-and-so. You don't hear that all day. We're now in the pre-surgery area. If you've ever had to have such as a colonoscopy or anything that is going to require you to be sedated, that's a beautiful sounding waterfall right there. A lot of artwork. You can see Multiplaza Mall from this level. That's what we're actually looking at, is across the street from Multiplaza Mall. They have the TV screens up on the monitors. If you've ever had a family member that's been having a major medical procedure, and it does the same thing. It will notate where they're at, if they're in the pre-stage, if they're in recovery, just how the thing is going. You can look up there. Yes, they have every major type of health item needed. So that's your prep room. If you, again, I'll keep going, colonoscopy, so you can get your gown on, put your stuff in locker, and then the medical room where they actually put any type of medical things that you need with you. This here, what are we looking at? I'm trying to see. Oh, it's just saying that the other hospital, in case you didn't know, there's one in Costa del Este, and that which is in the town center, and then this one here, which is right in the middle. A little bit about Pacifica Salud while we're walking through. Well, actually, no, we're gonna pause there. Just going into a private house.
Okay, you've got, these TVs. You can get Netflix here. You've got normal cable there.
Okay.
Yeah, we have pretty.
Recliner chair.
I've heard the food's pretty good. You get 3 meals a day they bring in. You have a nurse. Nurse is on call. This whole area. You've got your own nurse. You push the button. She comes in. This is the guest room. Wow. So you can come
They
in
have
here.
their own TV and their own bathroom.
And their own bathroom.
Yeah, that's nice.
The cost per night for these is, I think it's $415. $415. And then for a normal room that's just to have without this, it's like $215. But now they even have a kind of ocean view over here.
Yeah.
If you look, you can't see what these blinds are. You can actually see the water.
You can see the water.
You can. I can see it. Yep. Between the
Yeah.
skyscrapers.
You
Yep.
see the tornillo, the screw going there. So it's nice, you
don't want to be here, but if you're
But if you,
here,
yeah,
I mean, there are worse places to have to be.
absolutely.
Wow. And I know that this is probably not a big deal to you. To me, it is. Your own individual unit. Because I don't know what goes on in these hospitals. I don't care who it is. They want to freeze you out of there. They're like, yeah, you ain't staying.
Yeah, you can get pretty.
You're not staying. You're going to be cold. If nothing else, you're going to get out of here.
Yeah, you can control your own air temperature.
Control your own air temperature.
And but it's nice, the idea is comfort. No one wants to be here, but we try to make it as comfortable as possible.
But if you're here,
Yeah, this is the pane, so the nurses will come in and say, "What are you feeling right here? What color?"
every man,
What number are you?
every man,
Every man.
Stop.
every
Stop.
woman,
Stop that, man.
every man. It's a 10.
I'm in a 10. I'm in a
It's a 10. Sir, it's a jam finger. It's still a 10. A 10.
I don't like it.
I mean, she might. I don't know if I can argue with that. If you have a service-connected disability, and I kind of went over this in that meeting, then you're covered 100%, right? But it's limited in the sense that if you show up at ER and it's not connected, then you don't have coverage with the foreign medical program.
Right.
And with the foreign medical program, they're your VA health benefits, right?
Okay.
But they limit those to your service-connected disability.
Understood.
Where in the United States, you walk into a VA hospital, you're covered for everything.
That's
correct.
Here, they're like, well, you're still covered for these things, but not everything.
Understood.
And so, once you get your letter from the foreign medical program,
Okay.
then we'll use that list, or we'll always have that. And if you come into the ER, what we do is we check the list, and if it's connected to your disability, then you're covered. If not, then you're not covered. So have to be an alternative.
So can we stack insurances then?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can have other insurance to cover those gaps.
Okay. That's
Tricare?
exactly.
No Tricare?
We don't have Tricare.
Okay. So yeah, it'd be foreign medical program that would cover you there, and if for any gap in that, they would be with the local insurance, like
And that's the order that you would suggest going.
comprehensive.
And then finally our Fed
Blue Cross. That'd be the last one that you would say.
Yeah, and local, like a comprehensive local policy, they're really good, and they're inexpensive. So, how is it working with your Blue Cross? Is that permanent? You don't.
Yes, it's permanent. It's part of my retirement.
Because some of those international policies, they'll dock you, or they'll take away your coverage if you're not living in the United States.
Yeah, no, in fact, we call Blue Cross, and they're like, we got better coverage here than back home.
Yeah.
Which is shocking.
His policy is one that was associated with his retirement.
Right.
So it's until he, well, basically until we both die, because it's not even routed to him. It's
Routed to
both of
us.
To be honest with you, you might have sufficient coverage of that. And again, you can use that insurance here, but what I don't know is the extent of your coverage.
And we don't know either.
Yeah. So you would have to contact your representative and say, hey, I live in Panama, what does this cover? What I would recommend you ask, am I covered for doctor consultations? What's my coverage for medical emergencies?
Get that breakdown.
Yeah, do I have co-pays? Like, what you want to know is if you go to see a general doctor or a specialist,
Right.
Are you going to have to pay that in full, or is there just a copay?
Okay.
And so, to be honest, in emergency, we'll let you know that. If you go to the admin, when they verify, they tell you, they know, because the insurance company says he's covered, but he has to pay $20 copay.
Understood.
Whatever.
I know what you're saying.
Right. Right.
But I always ask for a summary of benefits.
That's what we need to say.
A summary of benefits.
And that's
Okay.
going to determine whether we want to get another
Yeah, so you
policy
just
or not.
they'll send you it. They'll send a PDF and it tells you all your benefits, and you can send it to me.
I will.
Ask
We
me to
will.
send it to me so I can look at it and let you know. But that's before you enroll in a local plan.
Look at that.
Look, for
Check that
comparison
because you might
purposes.
be stacking insurance
Too
or,
much.
or paying for insurance here that's unnecessary.
Okay. And we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that.
So you want to kind of look like how are you going to get the best coverage, and fill in gaps.
Right, and that's it. It's
Yeah.
to fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
Because I went to an emergency room once, and the hospital was covered, but not the doctor that saw me.
Yeah.
So I got a $4,000 bill. Like, what is this?
So with the hospital, if you were admitted to ER, then TRICARE, like for TRICARE, for example, they'll cover everything. All the doctors, the specialists, everything are covered under the hospital because it's you're admitted into the hospital.
Right.
But if you see a doctor just for a consultation or for something
It's totally
independent, then that's impossible. Even though you're seeing them here,
Right. That's what we experienced. Yeah. That is right.
the doctor. If the doctor doesn't bill TRICARE directly, then
You get the bill.
You have to pay and then submit your own claim.
Yep.
So that's how it works with TRICARE.
Okay.
And again, I think your Blue Cross policy would cover that.
Yeah.
I think they would cover those types of consultations. Again, check we'll take a look at your summary.
I get the summary.
Yeah. But that's one of the things with TRICARE because as the hospital we do accept TRICARE, but it's it's kind of confusing because we'll have people come in and say they'll go up and see a specialist and they expect that to be covered under the hospital, and it is confusing.
Right.
I understand it.
Right.
Because you think, okay, I'm in Pacifica Salud, I should be covered by this.
The whole thing
but,
may not be the case.
Yeah,
Depending on what it is.
Yeah. And TRICARE will cover even if it can't be direct bill. They'll pay you back.
Okay.
But not everyone wants to.
To wait that reimbursement
Yeah.
time.
Or they don't. Maybe it's expensive. They just don't have that to fork out.
Right.
It doesn't matter what you got it. It's $12,000.
Yeah, but it's TRICARE will cover, but it's like question of do you want to go that route of paying out of pocket and wait for a reimbursement?
Right.
But you can rest assured that if you come in through the hospital, then you're gonna you won't have to worry about that.
I love it.
Right.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful
It is.
hospital. It really is. Thank you for the time.
Yeah,
I'm going to get the
please, yeah.
summary.